So this meme coin has been on fire recently because Disco has been in up only mode for the entire month of October. So I thought that this would be a good opportunity to create this video here and share my thoughts on this project here. And I'd like to open up the conversation to you watching as well. And I'd love to hear your thoughts on how high you think Disco can continue to go from here. So I'm bullish on this project for several reasons. So the very first one is it's a Matt Fury based character, and you can see on the right hand side right here where I'm hovering, so Disco is a real character. It's not made up, and Disco belongs to the Heads NFT collection created by Matt Fury. So super awesome. And we know when it comes to Matt Fury based meme coins, they have the potential to do really well, because Matt Fury, he is a staple part of this entire bull run, and the narrative around the characters and the meme coins that he creates seems to take on life throughout this entire bull run here. So if we keep on scrolling, it's a very simple website. But before we go and continue here, so just a little bit about Disco. So this character right here is like a half human, half eggplant. So totally different from a lot of the characters that we're familiar with, such as like animals. You know, we have frogs, for example. There's also Brett, Andy, Landwolf, and also a couple other ones that are very bizarre here. But this one is really cool because it also ties into pop culture, which I'll touch on in a moment. And also it brings back a part of our childhood as well, especially the eggplant type of character. And I'll get into those two things in a moment here, but let's go continue on with the website here. So very simple, and you can see this pictures of Disco and Pepe. And what's really cool here is that Disco has a strong relationship to Pepe and the boys club, because, you know, in my opinion, Disco is like the cool kid. So back in the day when we were like in high school or junior high, and on a Saturday night, you always wanted to go to where all the cool kids are hanging out. And Disco looks to be the coolest kid of all Matt Fury characters, because he is the life of the party here. So even Pepe acknowledges here. So at the very bottom, he says, "You are the party, Disco." And this is super bullish, because especially when it comes to Pepe and the boys club, when that narrative picks up steam and heats up again, it's going to be very easy to have Disco enter that conversation, simply because he has this tight relationship to Pepe and the boys club, and especially how they party together as well. So there's a lot of fun around that narrative, and because it's easy to integrate Disco due to his relationship to Pepe and the rest of the boys club there, that could be a strong reason why the Disco meme coin could absolutely explode during that time when Pepe and the boys club explode as well. So that's why when I look at Disco, it has that longevity effect. And in addition to that, I would not be surprised if he makes a strong case to be the 5th member of the boys club, simply because of the part of animal that he is. And if we look at Pepe, Brett, Andy, Landwolf, you know that they love to party. The second reason that I mentioned that I'm bullish on Disco, and especially the eggplant part, is that it ties into pop culture. So if you're familiar with emojis here, the eggplant emoji is one that is popular but controversial at the same time, once again, because it has has phallic connotations to it. That's the best way that I'll describe it. And if you really want to know what it really means, feel free to Google it, but I won't explain it here, but I think a lot of you will understand it. And since emojis have become a part of our everyday communication here, that's why the Disco character, especially being an eggplant, also carries on that attribute that helps us identify with pop culture as well. So that's 2 reasons. And the third reason that I had mentioned, which brings a sense of nostalgia back into us, or back into our life here, especially reminding us of our childhood, is if you remember the game Metroid here, there was the main bad guy, which is Mother Brain, and Mother Brain had a right hand character by the name of Eggplant Wizards here. So in my opinion, and maybe it's just me, Disco kind of reminds me of Eggplant. So if you recall the personality of the Eggplant wizard in the game Metroid here, he is silly and funny. So, I would not be surprised if those personality traits were also displayed in Disco as well. And that's probably part of the reason why he's so well liked, and also why he is a party animal. And even as popular as Pepe is, being the most popular character created by Matt Fury, even he has acknowledged that Disco is the life of the party here. So now the question becomes, from an investment point of view, are we early to the party or are we late to the party? So in order to answer that question, let's go ahead and jump to the charts right here. So right now we are looking at the chart for Disco, and Disco is sitting at a market cap of $2.3 million. And you can see that on October 4th here, it just went absolutely parabolic. And this chart is looking super, super bullish here, because it's pretty much been on an uptrend for the last 2 weeks here. So we can see just the growth right here. So before it went absolutely insane, it was sitting at about 100K market cap, and it ran all the way up to its all-time high of about 3.37 million in terms of its market cap here. So that is over a 3,600%. So that's a 36x in a matter of about 11 days. So it reached its all-time high right here of 3.37 million, close to 3.4 million on just very, very recently on October the 15th here. So it is absolutely exploded, and the chart once again is in an upwards trend. So really, really awesome to see this project have such crazy momentum. So the question from here is, how likely is the chart for Disco gonna continue moving up? And especially, what's the potential of this meme coin, both in the short term and as well as in the long term here? So if we look at things from the short term point of view, especially when it comes to Matt Fury based meme coins, the last narrative that was really, really popular when it came to Matt Fury based characters was from Cortex Vortex. And one great example is MindFact. So MindFact reached an all-time high right here of close to $12 million. So from here, if Disco was to reach the all-time high of MindFact, that would be about a 5x from here. So, still some very, very good gains. And if you look at kind of like the run that that happened with MindFact, it took it, about close to, let's actually chart this out here. It took about 3 weeks for MindFact to run absolutely parabolic and reach that all-time high. So right now, when we look at the chart for Disco, it's been running hard for about close to 2 weeks now. So the question becomes, if it has the same gas that MindFact had, then that could mean that Disco could run for, let's say, another 2 weeks from here. So if that happens, then, the potential in terms of the short term is really, really positive for this project here. So that's an example of the short-term potential for Disco, is having a look at how other Matt Fury based meme coins in the Cortex Vortex, a very recent narrative, performed. And once again, this is not financial advice. What I'm just doing is just sharing my thoughts and opinion on the potential of Disco here. So in the long run, since Disco is such good friends with Pepe and the rest of the boys club, we can have a look at Pepe here, for example, as the moonshot comparison here. So right now, Pepe is sitting at just about $3 billion. So from here, if Disco was to reach the market cap of Pepe, that would be a 1000x from here. Once again, there's nothing guaranteed, especially in crypto, and this is not financial advice. Also, since Brett is a very popular member and probably the next popular member next to Pepe here, Brett is sitting at close to $300 million. So from here, Disco, that would be over a 100x potential. So absolutely insane amounts of potential when it comes to Disco in the long run. And if we want to bring Andy into the picture, Andy right now on ETH is sitting at $36 million. So that would be about 15x from here. So overall, when you look at the potential of Disco in the short term as well as in the long term, has anywhere between a 5x if you have a look at and consider MineFact, all the way up to over 1,000x if we're to compare it to Pepe. But once again, none of this is guaranteed, and this is not financial advice. So let's go ahead and jump to the X page for Disco. And you can see that this project has been out for 1 month and they already have 810 followers, and that number continues to grow. So let's go ahead and see how often they post here. So this post here was 3 hours ago, 18 hours ago. And if you look at their artwork is really, really cool. So they put in a lot of effort into their designs as well. So really, really great to see. And one of the things that stood out when it came to this project here is that their marketing is really, really strong. And as well is that they have strong partnerships with KOLs. And here is an example of that. So you can see that 18 hours ago, they reposted this video by Ben Crypto, also by Christina. And if you keep on going, there's also a video by Crypto Goals as well as Apex Syndicate. So I know Crypto Goals and Apex Syndicate, actually all these KOLs are amazing content creators here. But really to kick it off, where I learned it from was from Crypto Goals and Apex Syndicate. So I know that they are absolutely bullish on this project here because they produce content on it continuously. So, all these influencers do an amazing job creating content for Disco as well as for all the other projects that they're involved in as well. So if we go here and we type in Disco Crypto, just to kind of have an idea of the type of coverage that they're getting when it comes to other KOLs. You also have this video here by Roshan Silva. We talked about Crypto Goals, who talks about Disco a lot, Ben Crypto as well, Apex Syndicate, Crypto Pandas, Adam Shelton. So they're from Christina here. So we have tons and tons of KOLs talking about Disco, which means that with that comes a lot of eyeballs and attention. And I also know that Win All Day is super bullish on Disco as well, because just yesterday he created his YouTube video on Disco. In fact, he mentions it in high esteem in the likes of his favorite meme coins such as Doggo and Pando. So he is an absolutely amazing content creator. So all these content creators do an awesome job. Make sure to check out their content. So in the comments below, let me know if you think that we are still early to this party. And once again, nothing in this video is financial advice, so always make sure to do your own research. Also, crypto is risky, so as much as everything could go to the moon, it could go down to zero as well. So please invest responsibly. Also, I am not a financial advisor, so if everything in this video sounds good to you, make sure to subscribe to this channel, turn on that notification bell, and give this video a big thumbs up. And with that, I'll see you in the next one.